Hi there. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to day two. Again, I want to remind you if you're watching this from my YouTube channel, I highly recommend you check the description and join the course. It is for free. You're going to receive lots of materials, PDFs, audio files. Let's start. I really like today's question, I have to say, and I think it's going to help you a lot to be prepared better. So let's see here. The question we want to cover today is describe a time when you missed or were late for a meeting. You should say when it happened, what happened, why you missed or were late for it, and explain how you felt about it. Before answering the question, I always introduce my students good books to read. So today book that I want to suggest you read is Art of War. Yeah, The Art of War. And that's one of my top favorite books, I have to say. The reason I like it and the reason I am introducing you this book is you have to learn IELTS is like a war. And not only you have to know yourself well, you have to know your enemy well. So you have to know what your enemy wants. So what I'm telling you this, why I'm telling you this is because this question is about a time when you were late. So you have to show collocations related to punctuality, time, being late, phrases like that. In the first part, when we practice getting the ideas, this part, we are not going to focus on collocations. However, we're going to focus how to generate really good ideas. I highly recommend you stay with me, learn this one first, then move down. And as you can see, I highlighted really good collocations for you that you can use in your answer. So let's start and see how we're going to prepare. If you pay attention, we have four parts. Part 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 1, we're going to talk about when it happened. 2, why you missed it. 3, how you felt about it. 4, what you learned. So let's start. I remember a time when I missed an important business meeting a few months ago because of a series of unexpected events. The meeting was scheduled for the morning, but I encountered some difficulties that caused me to be late. Here, pay attention. I broke it down for you. I remember a time when I missed because of. That's the thing you have to remember. I also highlighted here when you learn the essays, I mean the sample answers with me, I always suggest you to use a complex structure like when, that, which. So 3 keywords I want you to write it on your notebook now, on your paper now, sorry. When, unexpected event, and encounter some difficulties. It's just going to help you to remember what you want to say. So I remember a time when I missed an important business meeting a few months ago because of series of unexpected events. So the meeting was scheduled for the morning. I highly recommend you remember for the morning. Examiner wants to see if you know or if you're familiar with prepositions. But I encountered some difficulties. All right, that's simple. I'm going to be quiet and I want you to practice these 3 sentences for 30 seconds. I'm not going to say anything. I want you to practice this. Try to close your eyes, try to say it, or try to look at your keywords and say the first paragraph. All right. Now look at here. Why it happened. As you know, I always suggest have 2 reasons. It's going to help you to remember your ideas better, and it's going to give you a really simple order to follow. So I'm just going to give two reasons why I was late. Number one, I'm going to say to start with. And when I want to add the second one, I'm going to say even worse. So the first one is simple. I just left my phone in the kitchen and I slept in the other room. So that's a really good reason to miss the alarm. And the other one is that your car wouldn't start. So let's read. To start with, I overslept, really good structure. Because my alarm clock was in the kitchen, or you can say my phone was in the kitchen, and I couldn't hear it from my bedroom. When I woke up, I realized that. That's another phrase I always suggest my students to use. I realized that I was behind the schedule. So behind the schedule, really good structure. Really simple. To start with, I overslept because the alarm clock was in the kitchen and I couldn't hear it. Now, how do you add your second idea? Before adding your second idea, remember, even worse, my car wouldn't start. So that's a really simple, good idea. And I was unable to make it to the meeting on time. Good collocation, again, to make it to the meeting on time. I tried to find another way to get there. Please do not say to get to there. Many students say to get to there, but to get there as quickly as possible as a structure. But it took longer than I expected. Again, we show contrast, but it took longer than expected. So if you pay attention, I wrote it here for you as well. And I highly recommend you download this one, print this one, keep it with you today. Just take a look at it and try to use the structure of phrases. Remember, you do not need to memorize these ideas. You need to learn from these ideas and create your own sample. You can generate any other idea you want. For example, instead of saying my car wouldn't start, you can say I missed the bus. I missed the train. Yep, that's your idea. If you do not have a car and you do not want to lie, that's what you can say. Moving to the third part. So far, really good. And I want you again to take 30 seconds, try to write the keywords and generate the ideas. Okay, this paragraph. I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds, 1 minute. You try to use these phrases. Perfect. All right. When I eventually get to the meeting place, the meeting had already started. As you can see, we use past perfect to get a higher score. This is what you have to write. Had already started. I think this is a really good keyword to remember what we want to say next. And I was half an hour late. Half an hour late. Simple yet practical phrase. I'm not going to highlight it because I want to highlight next one. I apologized to everyone. So I apologized to everyone and explained what had happened. So that's the next past perfect we're going to use. I felt bad about it. So remember, to feel bad about something. In the next part, I recommend you do not say I felt bad about it. For example, you can say I was embarrassed. That's a better choice. I was frustrated. Yeah, things like that to get a higher score. But for now, because we are focused on generating idea, we just say I felt bad about it. Because it gave others a negative impression of me. It's a good phrase. And it made me feel unprofessional. Feel unprofessional. Really good phrases. It also made it harder for me This is a phrase I want you to write it down because many of my students make mistakes. I don't know why. And they say, it made me hard to work with the other, or it made me easy. No, it made it hard for me to work with other attendees since they had to wait for me. Again, wait for me, pay attention to the prepositions and adjust their schedule. Adjust their schedule is another good phrase. So pay attention here. When I eventually got to the meeting place, I use transition words because, since, do not forget to use these phrases. So 2 points I want you to remember. Number one, had already. And the other one is try to use feelings. You do not need to say bad. You can say, for example, I said embarrassed is the choice that I have for this answer. Again, I want to give you 30 seconds and I want you to get ready, take note to answer this part, this paragraph. All right, perfect. And let's move to the last part of our sample answer. However, I learned a lot from this experience. I now know the importance, how important it is to have a backup plan in case something unexpected happens. Structure, I want you to write on your paper. Have a backup plan in case something unexpected happened. If you remember, we use unexpected events previously, so I show you how to change this in the next part. But always allow extra time for something. That's another good structure. So see here, the paraphrase of unexpected, something unexpected is unforeseen circumstances. The experience also helped me to understand how critical punctuality is. Yes, you have to use words related to time, being punctual. And it made me more aware. So see, it made it hard for me. It made me aware of something. These are really good structure. I highly recommend you use. It made me more aware of being on time for important meetings. So make it simple for yourself to remember. Number one, you're going to say, I learned that I have to have a backup plan. As simple as that. For what? For unexpected events. Yeah, in case something unexpected happens. Number two is that you learned the importance of punctuality and it made you aware of being on time. Okay, the importance of being on time. That's it. So in general, this is what we're going to say. Again, I want to give you 30 seconds to get ready for the final part. Then I'm just going to show you how to use some better phrases, better collocations to get a higher score. Take your time, 30 more seconds, and get ready for this. Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the next part of our lesson and see how we can even get a higher score. So if this is simple for you, I highly recommend you continue watching. If you're looking for band 7, I highly recommend you stay with us, stay with me, and watch the remaining part of our video. So some phrases I have highlighted for you. I'm going to highlight even more. One sec. So a time when I missed or was late for a meeting was when I had encounter Sorry. When I had encounter a series of unexpected events. See, from the beginning, I started with past perfect. It happened several months ago, and events that prevented me from doing something, from being on time. Really good collocations. So it happened several months ago when I had an important business meeting scheduled in the morning. So in the morning is important. Firstly, I didn't hear my alarm clock as it was placed in the kitchen and I was in the bedroom. When I finally woke up, I realized I was running late. Running late is a really good structure you can use. Due to sudden malfunction in my vehicle. Do not say vehicle. It's better to say my car. I'm just going to change this to car. I was unable to make it to the meeting. So to make it somewhere, or to make it means to successfully do something. I tried to arrange alternative transportation. Alternative means another way. It took longer than I anticipated. Rather than saying that longer than I thought, you just have to say anticipated. By the time I arrived, the meeting had already started. I highly recommend you use this phrase. By the time I arrived, the meeting had already started. So instead of saying people in the meeting, say attendees. This is another good phrase you can use. Some other phrases: unforeseen technical issues. Take precaution. Rather than saying I tried to be careful, just say I had taken all necessary precautions. Yeah. And had allowed enough time for any possible setbacks is another good phrase you can use. It also put strain on my relationship with the attendees. What does that mean? It means it made it difficult for you to work with attendees. Rearrange is a good phrase. Is a good word to use to talk about time. To accommodate my tardiness. Tardiness means being late, to arrive late or to be late for something. Have contingency plan. Another good phrase. If you do not know what is a contingency plan. Yeah. So an event or a situation that might happen in the future, especially one that could cause problem. So here we are. In case of unexpected events, again, we use unforeseen, unexpected circumstances, events. Appreciate the value of punctuality. One phrase I myself use is this one. It helped me to appreciate the value of punctuality. It helped me to understand the importance of, the value of, the importance of. Please write it on your notebook. And it made me more diligent about being on time. Sorry, I have to show you the pronunciation. Diligent. Someone who is diligent, works hard, and is careful and thorough. So made me more diligent about being on time. That's the phrase. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this sample answer. Good job. Looking forward to seeing you in the next part. Do not forget, consistency is the key. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow and before tomorrow, even next part. Have a good day. See you.